Is that you? Oh, yeah, here it is. Is Mike Mitchell, not Mike Mitchell, Captain Munnerlin, I think it was, said that the Saints dinked and dunked us to death.
Did it?
Yeah, well, guess who didn't agree? Ron Rivera. And
Ah,
Ron Rivera told Captain Munnerlin that they must have watched different game tapes because he said, y'all just got beat.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
Well,
said,
here's
this
the
won't
thing.
just dinking and dunking. Y'all
Yeah.
just suck.
Well, going into this game, everybody was looking at the previous games, and that's what Drew Brees was doing: bubble screen, seam, these little toss it to the running back, put him in the slot. They was doing these little short, 7 to 10 yard passes. Now they were doing that in that first game, right? But they were also mixing in the big play too. A lot of those passes that Marcus Colston caught were 30 plus yards. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
I
yeah.
mean, and if they weren't 30 plus yards, they turned out being 30 plus
Oh yeah.
yards
Oh yeah.
after he got the
Right.
ball.
Oh yeah. So
Okay, so you know what is that this is our secondary is going to have to play better, period. And this is where I'm going to put a little, I'm putting the Carolina Panthers on a little notice or whatever. I don't know what you call it, but it's time for I mean, it's in this game, star Louis Tui, Dwan Edwards, Quan Short, um, and whoever this damn Cole guy is. Somebody tell me why this guy Cole is starting at defensive tackle and who the hell he is.
wait a minute. Is that the guy who came from Philadelphia?
Is that I don't know. Is
Yeah.
that for the
Yeah.
last two
Yeah.
games?
I think he came from
One
Philadelphia.
of our starting tackles is a guy I don't know,
Yeah.
and we drafted two defensive tackles. What the
Right.
hell,
Right.
Joey? Do you
Yeah.
know what's going on there?
Yeah, I think he was an early like a preseason or early training camp acquisition. I think he
Yeah.
was one of the first guys that Gettleman picked up,
Hmm.
and he's played well. He's played well. I mean, I really believe Rivera and McDermott wouldn't have him in the game if they didn't see something they believe he could do.
He's
And
starting.
right, and that may just be because he's a big body. He's a big boy. If you look at him, he's a big boy, and he may just be real
Hmm.
strong in the middle.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the more guys that we have that are capable of playing, the better the defense we're going to be because we'll get rest. And our
Yeah.
defensive line is so important. The more people we can shuffle in and out, the better we're going to be overall.
Hmm.
I think his name
All
is
right. Well,
Colin Cole. Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
his
I
name?
think so. I
Colin
think
Cole?
it's something cool. And but this is what I gotta say about this is that first I don't know this guy, and I should obviously. Second, I mean I shouldn't be. I'm not even embarrassed. I'm just like y'all don't know who he
Like whatever. Yeah. Go
is.
ahead.
But the other thing is we didn't get any pressure up the middle in the first Saints game. So here we go. Then and now. Then no pressure. Now the pressure has to come from the middle. It's got to come right up the gut at Drew Brees so he can't step up. And here's the kicker is that a rookie whatever who's the guy I guess it would be guard is that the one that plays all the way on the outside, Joey?
Hmm.
Oh,
Um
No.
on the offense.
tackle.
On the offense.
Yeah, offensive
Yeah. Yeah.
tackle.
An
Offensive tackle. Yeah.
offensive tackle, a rookie offensive tackle is going to be matched up against Greg Hardy this
Yeah.
week.
Right.
Oh man, he
So
should
what?
eat him for lunch.
Well, he won't be able to, and the defensive ends don't are not good. And it doesn't matter what system you're in; they don't help if you don't get pressure up the middle because a good quarterback just steps straight up and they're already past them.
Right.
So we got to get pressure up the middle. So I am begging and pleading. And this is where our good strength has come all season long, has been right up the middle. We have been straight, we've been tough, whether it be from the tackles to the middle linebacker to Mike Mitchell in the safety, is straight up the gut, and we push people to the outside. And that's what we got to do this week.
See, I don't know. I think it's late in the season, right? It's very late in the season, and starting from around week 5 or week 6 or whatever, Carolina was getting on this roll, and they were doing their thing, and that defense was getting better and better every week, and everybody was surprised by the Carolina defense. But here's the thing:
Hmm.
it's late in the season. It's the second to the last week of the regular season, and since everybody made such a big deal about the Carolina Panthers defense. The teams that were on Carolina that had Carolina on their schedule, they made sure that they went study film, broke down every player, every tendency, every package. So this is what Carolina's facing. They're facing 10 weeks of game
Game
footage
film.
that
Yeah.
that these other teams have been compiling. So when we saw them run into that brick wall in New Orleans, everybody was like, "Whoa, this is not the Carolina Panthers defense we're used to seeing."
Yeah,
Hey,
that's exactly what I said.
right. But come on, man. Sean Payton had 8 weeks of game footage on him. You know what I mean? Like, so what's going to have to happen is this. First of all, the tempo has to be turned up. They're gonna have to be way more aggressive. They're gonna have to take a little bit of chances on defense.
I
I
agree.
can't gamble, but I'm just saying the aggression has to come up. They're gonna
Hmm.
have to. I've seen this team like again go and do it against better offensive lines, like in San Francisco. I've seen them actually do it in when they played against Seattle Seahawks. I've seen them go up against really good offensive lines and win. Right.
Oh, yeah, San Francisco is the
Right.
one. You're right. Yeah,
So
that's the
so
best offensive line I know off the top of my
I
head.
mean, but coming out in the same, the same look, play after play after play, it's just it's too late in the season for that. You're gonna have to throw
Hmm.
some, you got to sprinkle some other things in, turn the aggression up, and because you think about it, we already know our weaknesses in our secondary, but what gives them strength is the guys up front
The rush.
reducing
Yeah.
that time that the quarterback has to throw that ball. That's what
Right.
makes our secondary been able to survive for all this time. Being able to get the interceptions they've been able to get because you force the errant pass, you force the bad decision, and it's just that they have to understand that people have tape on them now. You got to do something different. You do.
Yeah, I think we've seen that work too in the past. Um, look at the second half of the Saints game. Even though we got blown out, second half our defense played a lot better. I mean, they couldn't have played any worse, and that's Joey's line right there.
Right.
Is that it couldn't have gone any worse? But also look at the Jets game. I saw two similarities in the Jets game. Is we sent Munnerlin on the blitz, the corner blitz, a couple of times. That we've sent a safety blitz with Mitchell, where I've seen that dude run from like 30 yards out.
Right, but you got to understand, you only go to the safety blitz when you have absolutely no confidence in the offense that you're playing against, because ain't no way you
You
gonna
can do
win.
that against Drew Brees. I know, but
No.
to me, I think that corner blitz has shown a different look.
Yeah.
But one other thing is that I think it was the San Francisco game, maybe. Thomas Davis got in there and got back in the backfield, and so when we can send a couple, basically we need to channel a little Rex Ryan and have a little confusion,
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah.
guys dropping back, coming up, doing some different things
Yeah.
to just keep them from being comfortable.
Yes.
You're talking
Absolutely.
about zone blitzes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah, which definitely we need to incorporate. Q, I mean, you summed it up really good, and that these guys have a season's worth of footage on what we're doing,
Hmm.
and now is the time of the year where we have to start adding to our playbook and start pulling pages out of it that we're not going to be using anymore.
Hmm.
We've got to
and
get
maybe we
different
saw that
looks.
on offense a little bit. Maybe we saw that on offense a hair
Oh,
in this Jets game.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Uh, And we all know that in the NFL, they are always keeping something in their back pocket. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know how you
Oh
do
yeah.
that on defense as much, but I think you guys are on the right track. All right, last point.